Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interwebs out there, Sebastian Envy, strong style nerd, strong style cinephile, and of course, reigning, defending MPX prospect champion and one half of the CWF tag team champions. And while I could, as usual, go on and on about that Batwoman pilot episode, yes, I'm finally getting to it. Let us geek about that for a scant few minutes. Now, we open the episode with Kate Kane taking a swim in some Arctic-like place. Of course, it's not really a swim, but a test given to her by her broken English-speaking mentor. Now, Kate manages to survive the test in a time that does not suit her mentor. Now, back in Gotham, folks are gathering for a Turn Off the Bat Signal gala. As Batman has been gone from Gotham for 3 years, in his wake, the Crow's private security firm is a protection racket for the city. Where the GCPD is, though, well, now, creepy masked people show up, wreak havoc, and kidnap one of the Crows, Sophie, Kate's ex, that drives Kate's stepsister to contact Kate to tell her, bringing Kate back to Gotham City. Kate immediately wants to help in the search, but her father basically tells her to kick rocks. Now, during the attack and abductions, cameras were scrambled, but not Wayne Tech cameras, so Kate ventures to Wayne Tech, breaking in and encountering Luke Fox, who will of course be the standard CW or adorkable tech guy. Despite Luke's objections, Kate accesses the computers and the CCTV cameras and gets some good footage and evidence. She takes the footage to her father and stumbles into a surprise party put on by her stepsister. She tries to talk to her father, but is again turned away, so Kate goes on her own, following a clue, and ends up getting knocked out and strung up by Alice. Kate then wakes up in her sister's illegal makeshift clinic. Clearly, the sister will be the medical resource of Team Batwoman this season. Now, Kate runs into her father again and asks him point blank whether or not she was ever going to have a job with the Crows, which her father finally admits it was never his plan, that she's not like everyone else. Now, Kate agrees and says she'll never be. It's a great emotional scene between the two, airing out baggage that they both had that her father didn't want to face, especially. Now, Kate heads back to Wayne Enterprises again and ends up finding the cave setup that Bruce has at his job, as well as information that the accident that took her sister and mother, the accident where she thought Batman abandoned her and her family, was not his fault. He was trying to protect them and did the best he could. This changes how Kate views Batman. And through some contacts, Kate's stepsister locates Sophie, and Kate dons the Batsuit to rescue her. In the meantime, Alice has threatened to blow up a movie in the park event and set it up to where Kate's dad would have to choose between Sophie and the citizens of Gotham. But of course, it's a moot point because Kate saves the day and people think Batman is back. Kate is finally offered a spot on the Crows, but she tells her father to kick rocks this time, that she's going to go her own way, of course, being Batwoman. Kate is also crushed to find out Sophie has a husband these days, so of course that's going to be the will they won't they CW drama for this season. And we find out as the show closes that Alice is in fact Kate's sister Beth. Now, Alice plans to try and get Kate over to her side in her bid to take over Gotham, and I'm sure Kate's going to be on a mission to save her sister, reconnect, reclaim her family, etc., etc. That's probably going to be an overarching theme for season 1, and that was the end, the gist really of episode 1, the pilot. Wow, didn't take all that long to recount, but my thoughts on it, I give it like a solid, God, what did I say, I gave Flash season premiere 6.5. I give this like a 6.5, 6.8. It has some good stuff to it, has some stuff that I don't like. I know execs in charge having to do with the show said they kind of wanted to make it like Arrow season 1, so I'm wondering if that had to do with the fact that we get a narration for this first episode. I'm really hoping that they ditch the narration rather. And I know it turns out to be she's writing a letter to Bruce to explain, why she's taking some of his toys and donning the cape and cowl to be Batwoman. But it's just the way they do it. There's good ways to do narration, but the way the CW does it, it's just corny. It doesn't fit. It's stupid. I really hope that they ditch it. I know Arrow took maybe 3 episodes for season 1 of Arrow to realize that the voiceover thing was dumb and to ditch it. So I'm really hoping by the second episode that Batwoman ditches it. The one thing that I do not like about the premise of it is the idea that Batman would just up and leave Gotham. Now, on one of the message boards I go to, somebody had broached the idea that maybe Bane broke his back and that's why he left. Now, if they actually put that into play in the story, I'd be like, okay, cool, that makes sense. But for them to just up and leave, that's why I always hated the premise of that crappy Birds of Prey series from the CW years back, because it just said, oh, Catwoman, I think she got killed by the Joker, if I'm not mistaken, and then Batman just dipped. Like, there's no whatever interpretation you want to make of Batman wherever it would never be where he leaves Gotham, like, for any reason. He would die before that happens. And just the idea that he would just up and just leave. It's just always rubbed me the wrong way. It's a stupid premise. It was stupid in Birds of Prey. It was stupid in Batwoman, unless, like I said, there's mitigating circumstances, like he was seriously injured in a fight with somebody, like a high-profile Bat villain, like Bane or something like that. Otherwise, him just leaving and having to be stuck with a season full of people making references to him, talking about him, and he's never there. It's kind of like the first season of Supergirl, when Superman would come up and they would always stress like, oh, him, and like he and him and blah, blah, blah. And it's like they couldn't say his name, but they'd always like refer to him and stuff like that. That's, to me, it's just pointless and dumb. Don't like it. Alice as the villain, have to see more from her to see whether I'm gonna like her or not. Again, I know we started to build the CW, typical CW, team for Team Batgirl, or Batwoman, rather. We're gonna have the, tech guy, which is gonna be Luke Fox. How long it takes him to don a suit of armor to be Batwing remains to be seen. We've got the stepsister in her legal clinic, so clearly she has some medical knowledge. I imagine she's gonna be patching up Kate throughout the first season. And so it's just typical CW formula in that regard. Hopefully it doesn't get too typical and formulaic. The relationship with her father, the interactions that they had in the pilots, had some good emotional stuff, I thought. Good performances, good delivery from Ruby Rose. Definitely a fan of hers. I know there's so much hate on her on the show, which is really weird how like people are complaining about her playing a gay character when it's that way in the comics, but then they cast her and then suddenly she wasn't gay enough, and all this stuff. The trolls from either side of the aisle is just really comical when it comes to Batwoman. Again, I haven't read much of the comics. I started to on the DC Universe app. Wasn't what I was reading, honestly. So if you have a good run of Batwoman out there that you want to direct me towards, feel free to, because I really wasn't happy with what I read. So I'm judging it purely on the basis of the show and what I like from the show. What I like, there's potential. Hopefully, this is just the pilot. There's potential there, and hopefully it will be realized. They'll find their footing. It took Arrow 3 or 4 episodes to really find its footing and really kind of deliver some good stuff for the rest of season 1 and into season 2. So I'm hoping the same thing can be said about Batwoman. Pilots are noticeably different from the rest of the season of a given show. So ideally, they'll find their footing and things will get better. Not that they're really bad now, but so there's potential it can get better. So we'll see if it gets better or not. Anyway, kind of jumped around there for a bit. Like I said, it's an okay episode. Ruby Rose is good as Batwoman. Oh, the bat costume in the bat suit when it was like laid up in the case, did that look to anyone else like just the female version already? But it was supposed to be like the dude version, but it looked like the female version. It was just something in the chest area. Didn't like it. I thought they could have sprung for a decent, dude suit to put up there before we get the female suit, but maybe, I don't know, that's just me. It just looked bad. But again, show has potential. I'm here for at least another handful of episodes, especially into Crisis. I'm here for any crossover episode. I don't watch Supergirl, but I will check back in with Supergirl for the beginning of Crisis because it actually starts with Supergirl. So I'm here for that. But I'll give it genuinely like another couple episodes, and then I may check out after that if I don't like it. But we'll see. Those are some of my thoughts on it. What do you guys out there think? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Let Us Geek.